see what they look like. They're looking good. Maybe shake them up. It's roasting them so evenly. It's awesome. The stand on this thing sucks. Horribly. I just spatulaed the sheep cream off the top into my espresso shot glass. This is gonna be amazing. I spooned the cream off the top of my sheep's milk over there, put it in the bottom of the shot, and just shot on top of it. This is way cooler than putting the dairy on top. Look at how many different levels there are. That's crazy. It's like a natural lava lamp. Oh my god, this is gonna be so rich. It's gonna be ridiculous. Straight sheep cream latte. Oh my goodness, look how thick that cream is. My wok is making a perfect little oven for my dumplings. My sourdough dumplings, my kefir dumplings. I never make sourdough, I always just make kefir dumplings. Just mix my sheep's kefir in. And then I let it rise once. And separate it half of it into these balls, these 6 balls. Huge ones. Well, they're getting huge. They're rising. Yeah. Creamy veggie dumplings and kefir dumpling. Thank God. They're like biscuits. Not even dumplings. Look at that. Kefir makes it rise so much. It's like a biscuit more than a dumpling. Thank you, God. Awesome. So I found the most profitable way to support yourself with dairy pets with the excess milk is by far lattes. Ice cream is more popular, but it takes a lot more energy to keep ice cream cold, even in wintertime, surprisingly, because the sun is less available. Then, even though you don't need as much activation from your freezer, it takes a lot of battery for this size of a wagon. You're gonna have to haul a disproportionate weight of battery, whereas lattes you can get by with this little battery, a little handheld battery latte, espresso machine, and a little milk frother that's 300 watts that only takes like 15-20 seconds to heat and froth the milk, whereas the freezer takes constant high wattage, and the ice cream maker itself takes like 45 minutes to make the ice cream, and that's high wattage. That's all difficult to balance. These lattes are not only easier energy wise, but they're also stretching the product much more efficiently. Like, for instance, cheese is the most inefficient way to try to profit off of the excess milk that your dairy pet has, because the process of making cheese is dropping rennet in heated milk, which immediately separates and reduces the quantity of the final product from the original quantity. So you're actually downstepping when you make cheese and try to sell cheese. You're losing your way, and yeah, you're losing a lot. And then with the cheese, it's also it's also inefficient for space, which is another consideration. You got your electric energy consideration, your speed of generation of the product that you're looking at, and the space requirements for it. And nobody wants fresh cheese. They want the aged cheese, the smoked cheeses that taste better. And so holding on to a cheese even for 1 month in a wagon this small, no matter how small the cheese is not worth it financially, and especially when you're only getting like half or even a third of the quantity, because it's reduced down. Whereas ice cream, just making ice cream, as it churns slowly, it adds a little air and it actually bulks up. I'd say like it looks like maybe 10 or 20% in the machine. It bulks up even without intentionally adding aeration like companies do. And you're adding some ingredients, which is helping stretch it. Whereas sheep milk lattes and chai and milk teas, like I'm serving now, it's stretching the milk product so much further and so much more efficiently than any of these other options. Because literally I'm adding tea, like water and nettles or whatever I'm making the tea out of. I'm only having to add like 50% foamed heated milk to it in order for it to be so awesome. So I'm not only stretching it twice as far by literally adding water, but I'm also foaming it, micro foaming it, and adding air to it. So it's probably like doubling or tripling the actual use of my milk quantity. It's just so much more efficient. And then the time and space wise, I can operate everything out of this one little basket. And especially once I get the little car hop tray that I'll be able to keep as a lid over everything, keep it dry. And then when I want to operate and make this like a workstation, I take it out and it'll nest over the side and or on the person's car window if they want that service right there. Everything's right here. The time that it takes to make it's like 45 minutes to make ice cream, or like 20 minutes at least if you want to make a really small batch for someone wants one and they're not willing to wait 45 minutes for a full batch. You could make a small one bowl for that person. It's going to take 15-20 minutes, whereas like a latte or a tea or something, I can whip this out in 2-3 minutes max, like 120 seconds. I thought, I wonder if it'll roast. It is perfect at roasting. I have to pull this off, like I've had to check on it like 3 or 4 times to let it vent out some of the moisture. But check this out. It's a perfect even roast. And I haven't even been shaking it or nothing. It's so awesome. I'm so grateful, and it smells so wonderful. It actually smells like a much better roast. Much more consistent looking too than my roasts over the stove. And I think that's because this is just the perfect temperature inside, and because it's sealed and I'm just like letting the moisture burp every once in a while. It's actually holding in the essence, holding in all the smells, and it's way easier. So, and it's popping. It's so cool how you can hear it pop. So cool. Awesome. So yeah, sheep milk lattes and wild teas. Obviously when shit hits the fan and eventually your solar panels break down and there aren't enough of them to barter to keep you up, you'll transition over into just milk teas, and you won't have your electric microfoamer that's like instant that prepares it in 60 seconds like I'm using while these things are available and then still operable. Yeah, because even if you get a couple of backups of the electronic things that you need, like I got a fridge, an EMP is likely to be something that we'll all have to deal with in the future. An EMP being an electromagnetic pulse, either natural from the sun and the sunspots, or artificial from as an act of war. EMPs are an increasing tactic of war in order to disable all of the electronics of your opponent. And so if that were to happen, I would switch over to nothing but fire and solar tubes, and I would just go without the solar electric. And that's how I am transitioning into a post-apocalyptic situation with dairy sheep, and this being the most efficient and safe and sane course of action for someone who doesn't have plenty enough money to be able to not only buy your own land, but have enough money left over to preemptively pay 20 or 30 years of property tax, so when the economy collapses, you won't have to worry about repossessing your property because you weren't able to pay the property tax with the collapsed currency. Hi guys. Hi. We're going to feed the sheep and trade some milk. Happy birthday!